Welcome to Real Life with Jenny. My name's Jenny Santaparatna. Grab your favorite drink, get a snack, and we will get started. Today I have Lady Grey tea with cream and sugar, of course, and I have a new to me snack that I'm really loving, the peanut butter M&Ms. Now I tried these years ago and thought this is weird. I don't like these. But I went to a women's retreat and someone brought up peanut butter M&Ms and I thought I'll try them again, and now I'm kind of addicted. So let's get real. My family has had a tradition for years, and it showed up in one of the apps that I have, that all of my videos and photos get downloaded to this app that holds them forever. And then they make collages and they change things and they send you video. And so they sent me a video of the last 12 years of all of my frozen treats. It was a very long video of every photo that we've ever taken of us with ice cream. And I realized that I must really like ice cream. I didn't realize how much I loved it until I saw this video from Sam at like 4 years old all the way to 17. Her holding an ice cream cone at all these hundreds of different shops. And it started when she was 4. There was a place on the way up to Hines is where my grandparents lived, and we kept the house for a lot of years to go up and be with relatives, and it was kind of our getaway. I miss it so much, but that's neither here nor there. And we'd stop at a place called Motley, and they had a silo connected with like an antique shop. And when I was a kid, it was there. And we, once in a while, got to stop on the way up to Grandpa and Grandma's and get ice cream. And when you got a sugar cone, at the bottom was a Whopper. So you got ice cream, a sugar cone, and a Whopper. Like, it was a win. It was just all around a win for me. And so I wanted that for Sam. And so we would stop on the way up for sure. Sometimes on the way back. It matters on how things were going. And get an ice cream, and she got to ride those funky little rides. They were antique rides, you know, the horse and the merry-go-round, and she had to stop riding those when you got older because they, had like, you can't be more than like 15 pounds to be on this, because they were antiques. I don't know if it was 15 pounds, but it was kind of a ridiculously small amount. And so she got to ride those and eat ice cream, and so it kind of became a tradition for us. In fact, I've got pictures all around my house of like Sam and I and the dog eating ice cream at this shop, because they had like little spots that you could sit outside and on a swing, and really great memories were made there. And the reason that I'm not mentioning Kevin was because, first of all, he didn't go up to Hines as often as Sam and I did. It was kind of our getaway, and we would go with my mom and meet all the relatives, and just so many wonderful memories up there. But Kevin is lactose intolerant, so there's never a picture of Kevin in any of these ice cream shops, which is super funny because we're at ice cream shops all the time. And so I'm watching this, and we really started using ice cream as a celebration. And she won Citizen of the Year, I remember, I think like 3rd or 4th grade. And what did we do? We went for ice cream, and we celebrated eating a Dairy Queen, I believe, with the dog. So the dog's always with. Both dogs have learned to love ice cream. In fact, when the other day I said, hey, why don't we go to DQ? My dog's ears perked up, and he was at the door waiting. He was like, okay, I'm coming with, because he gets a pup cup. Yes, they do have pup cups at Dairy Queen. Anyway, I'm not very often do I say a brand name, but pup cups are important. So he was really excited. This is like how often we do this. And so you have favorite ice cream memories, and they're popping up on this collage that they actually ended up putting together at the very end. So they had all this video of every photo that we'd taken with ice cream, and then at the end there was this big collage, and you could barely see the photos because there's so many. You'd zoom in and go, what's that photo? And a lot of them are the 3 of us with our ice cream. And so I started thinking about this and how the change in our habits have happened. When she was little, we would do it on a trip, and we would, go and celebrate big opportunities or big things that she had won. That was kind of our big celebration. We'd go, I think one year we went and got ices. I don't like ices, but she loves an icy. So, we just kind of celebrated in that way. And it has really changed lately because I'm no longer driving her. Like, we are not always together anymore, which is really weird. It's a weird phenomena for those who go from you take your kids everywhere to all of a sudden you're like, I'm following them on an app, and maybe they're in the right place. She's been driving all over the state actually these last few weeks, which is great for her. But I used to drive her everywhere. So I had all the same experiences, right? Like when she got ice cream, so did I. And I never had ice cream without her kind of being there because we were always together. I drove her everywhere because I love driving. It's one of my favorite things to do is to get in the car and just drive. Really enjoyable, which makes it really great for our ministry because I do the driving and because it is super relaxing to me. I really love it. And so we have had to become a little more intentional with our ice cream stops. And now it's become a time that we can spend together. So, before it's kind of you're in the car and you're having all these hundreds of conversations and really sharing life with one another because you're together all the time. She needs to go to this friend's house. She needs to go to this activity. She needs to go to that activity. And so we're always in the car talking about life. And now that she's doing it by herself, I had to be a little more intentional and say, hey, let's go for ice cream, which now means, hey, let's go have a heart to heart. Let's go talk about what's going on in life. We actually do this with breadsticks too. There's a place that we can go get breadsticks. You get 6 breadsticks for $5.50 or 8 breadsticks. I think it's 8. And we sit down in the car and we talk. We park behind the little shop that serves the breadsticks. We always get a Fanta and a Coke to go with it from a different place. And we sit there and we have our breadsticks and we just talk about life and what are you walking through? What's going on? How are things going at school? How are things going at church? Just kind of sharing life together. And so we've had to become a little more intentional about that. And it's been a really interesting transition. And so the other day I was like, I kind of just miss you. And she was like, well, that's weird. I'm here all the time. I'm like, I know. I know that's kind of weird, but can we go for ice cream? And we just got in the car and we drove to go get our ice cream. And now I have a coupon for it. So it was even better. I was like, woot, woot. Because I love to try new ice creams. Like that is one of my favorite things to do. When we were in Hawaii, they had the funkiest, coolest ice creams ever. I was like, they have ice creams I've never seen before because they have different flavors there. It was so good. And Texas honestly has the best ice cream I've ever had. That Bluebell, I believe it's called. And it was just vanilla and I didn't care. I was like, can I just stay here and just eat your ice cream? So when we go, I like to have a coupon so I can kind of get something fun and special and not feel like I'm spending a ton of money. So I actually bought a coupon that has saved me money so far. And so I just really wanted to spend time with her. And when this thing came up in my feed, it reminded me of what I am sometimes missing with the Lord. My husband talks about it quite a bit when he's speaking. But we have to set aside time to spend with God. Sometimes, yes, he's in our everyday life and we talk to him but when was the last time that I intentionally went before him and said, hey, can I find out what you're thinking, God? What's going on? I mean, I want to share what's going on in my life. Will you share what's your vision for my life? And I actually went to a retreat because it's been such a busy season. Sometimes I'm speaking, sometimes I'm going, and the Lord just really kind of spoke to me and said, will you set aside your dreams and dream again with me? And sit down and have a conversation and listen to me. And I was like, yeah, I'll do that, I promise. But because I've set that aside for my daughter and I've said, hey, let's go have ice cream. I miss you. I just want to hear how things are going. Are you feeling like you're on track? Just kind of checking in. And then we drive around town for a little while. I never go straight home, which is like a 5-minute drive. I always try to take the longest possible way home. So it's 15, 20 minutes before we get back in the way I go. Just intentionally to spend time with her. And do I do that with the Lord? Do I intentionally take time aside and spend it with Him just to hear what His plan for my life is? Just to go, hey, Lord, I'm here. I want to spend some time with you. Now, this is not a have to. This is not a guilty thing. This is not like, hey, now you should feel really bad. It's an opportunity. Like, I don't need to go and spend extra time with my daughter. It's not like I don't see her every single day and we don't travel together and we don't do stuff together, but we are not always alone, right? We're not always just the two of us speaking heart to heart, just kind of, hey, are you doing okay? How are your friendships going? How is your relationship with God going? I don't get that kind of moment sometimes. And the same is with the Lord. I get to sit down and say, hey, Lord, I want to dream again. I want to start going in a direction that you want me to go in. And I'm kind of at my end of what I know. Okay, let's be real. I was at my end of what I knew years and years ago. But sometimes we just kind of go along with life and we don't take those moments. We don't set aside some special moments just to spend some time to listen to Him. And I'm not saying hours. My ice cream breaks with my daughter, they're not hours. Literally maybe half an hour at a time. And I'm not saying that you need to even set aside half an hour of time, but setting aside 5 to 10 minutes. And to say, Lord, this is a little bit more than me like diving into the Word and praying on a daily basis. This is just me saying, hey, I want to dream with you. Hey, I want to hear what you have to say. The opportunity for the God who spun the world into orbit to sit and dream with you is priceless. It's much more important than an ice cream date. And so that's my encouragement to you this week, that you would just take 5, maybe even 10 minutes and to say, Lord, I just want to hear what you have to say. I just want to hear about what your vision for my life is, or if there's something that I just want to hear from you. Sometimes you just need to hear the Lord say, hey, I love you. You've got this. I am on your side. The Lord saying that He's on your side and that He loves you is priceless. It really can motivate you and make you know that you're not alone. Because sometimes this world is so isolating. You can be in a big space with lots of people and still feel extremely isolated. You can go to a big church and feel isolated. You can go to a small church and feel isolated. And that's not what the Lord wants for you. He wants to have a relationship with you where you sit down and have ice cream with Him. Well, that is all I have for you this week. I am excited to see where God will take you if you take and give Him a couple ice cream minutes. That's what I call them. And in fact, I have actually started buying like small pints of ice cream for myself. Not those big ones because I always feel really overwhelmed by them, but they're really small and I eat about a third of it at a time. And during that time, when I'm eating that ice cream, I'm like, Lord, what do you have anything? Like, I'm here, I'm listening, I'm shutting off. I'm just spending, it's my focus time. And so I call it ice cream time. It's kind of weird and it sounds bizarre, but it really just focuses me in and says, I take ice cream to spend with my daughter. I'm going to spend a little bit of time with God too. So I hope that's exciting to you, that you can maybe find a way to shut yourself off just for 5 minutes, whether you go into the car, turn on some worship and listen, or you are in the shower, or let's get creative on how we could spend time with the Lord and see how much He loves you. You can find me at Real Life with Jenny on Instagram, Facebook, and Be Real. You can also sign up for my podcast to be emailed to you weekly if you just go to Real Life with Jenny or on christconnection.cc/Jen. I think there's a link there that you can just sign up, and then you don't even need to worry about finding this. It just comes to your email every week. It's fabulous. I am really excited about new ice cream dates for you, that you can take some intentionality time just to spend with him and see what he has to say to you. Have a great week.